that sucks. Okay, so this morning's video is going to be about, I'm saying morning like you know what time of day it is, but if you look at my window you can see it's breaking day out there. Anyway, the question that came in was about the patient portal and they're not being able to register a new patient. They're wondering what new patient registration is. They're getting that unauthorized and something went wrong. And generally, those two issues are solved by going into the notifications. Okay, so go admin, globals, and then go to notifications. And this information needs to be filled out. You need to have a notification sender, because this is for the email. Okay, so one, you have to have SMTP enabled. And you have to have an SMTP provider. Google will not allow you to use your account anymore simply because it's a lesser secured. They want you to use the Auth2, and so they've disabled the lesser secured. So if you try to put your Google information in here without going to Google and doing all the registration of the app and this and that and following their hoops, then that's not going to work. So you need to find a third-party SMTP provider in order to make this work for you. Now, once you get all of these in here, oh, by the way, I will definitely recommend changing these from 50, which is the default, to 48, so that it will send the email notifications 48 hours in advance rather than 50 hours, because that kind of just throws off the whole timetable. This is by the way. Also, I've never yet tried the SMTP gateway, but you can try it and see if it works. But if you do get it to work, then the other thing that you're going to be able to do is use the batchcom tool. So go to miscellaneous batchcom tool, and under the batchcom tool, this is where you'll find the email notification, what's the thing called, template. And so then you want to go ahead and set this. Now there's a couple other things you have to set, which is the cron job in order to make this all happen, but we'll get into that in a different video. Back to the patient portal. Okay, so SMTP, because the patients needs to be emailed their credentials, and there's a verification process that goes on. So when a patient registers, then the system's going to send an email out to the patient email address that they put in the registration form, and then there should be a notification that the patient needs to reply to that email. Now under portal here, let's go here. All right, so you need to put in here your portal address, because that comes up when you're assigning the portal to a patient. Okay, and then you can have it to enforce the dialog, which means that on the patient portal, the email address is the username. The email address is the email address, which is very confusing. So some people turn that off, so it only requires the email address and the patient doesn't have to put it in twice. Okay, so that's what that box does. And then you have to have the Google reCAPTCHA. Now, when you do the reCAPTCHA, you can do it in one of two ways. You can do it silently, where it runs in the background and the patient never sees it, or you can do the checkbox where they check, I am not a robot. Or you can do the picture thingy. Okay, so those are the three types of reCAPTCHA that you can have, but you got to use version 2. You can't use version 3, because of course when you look at it, it says version 2, key and secret. So do those, and then allow patient registration widget. Okay, in my case I don't have it turned on, but if I check this box, now that turns on the registration window widget. Also, the thing that you have to make sure is that if you're going to be testing the patient portal and be logged into the clinic side at the same time, you have to use two different browsers. So use a browser for the patient portal and use a different browser such as Chrome or Firefox or Brave or Edge, any one of them. Okay, just use two different ones in order to test out the whole process if you want to see it and do it for yourself. Okay, and then these other settings like allow online payments, but as far as getting the portal up and working, you gotta have this one in place, because it's a security measure in order to make sure the person is real. And then of course you need to have the email in place in order to make sure the person is real, that you're not getting any bogus signups, because you know there's a bunch of bots out there on the web that can sign up for just about anything. So therefore you want to protect your portal by using these security measures that are in place. All right, that is our Tech Minute for now. I'll get you back on the next one. Bye.